Welcome everyone, welcome back, and today we've got a new little 4K action camera to look at. Now, in the interest of being open and honest, this was sent to me free of charge, so I haven't paid for it, but they're not seeing this video before it goes out. I've not had to adhere to anything, it's just my review of it, as to whether it's any good. So, let's have a little look at that. Little box, little 4K action camera. So what have we got? 40-meter waterproof. Okay, dual screen, Wi-Fi, Ultra HD, 4K, dual screen as well. Wow, this could be pretty impressive. So let's have a look. We've got 2 batteries. Don't know how long they're going to last each, but yeah, we'll have a look at those and see. We've got our camera in a case, and I have a feeling that it's the case that's going to be waterproof rather than the camera itself, looking at that. But then again, this camera is coming out about £95, I think. There's some offer on at the moment, £20 off. So it's an affordable action camera in reality. Does it matter that it's in there? Not particularly, we'll see. So that's that, that's the camera. We've got a screen on the front there, and we've got a screen on the back. We've got memory card slot there, which is open, and the port's open. So this definitely isn't waterproof without the case. Bear that in mind. We've got the battery compartment there, with a lid that just comes off, obviously. But we can drop the battery in as well. So, little camera, what else we got? We've got an instruction manual. How cool is that? That's so rare now. So it showed me that all the accessories that are included and things that you can do. Okay, have a look at that. A little bit on the instructions, a bit of Q&A. And yeah, that looked interesting. Come to that in a minute, that must be in there somewhere. Didn't see that before. About charging the battery, SD card, formatting, a few bits on operation. Yeah. Let's have a little look. What else we got? We've got a box full of goodies. What else we got here? We've got a leaflet here, which is, you can have a free prize apparently. Don't know if that's applicable or not, but it's like a 3 memory card, an adapter, or Amazon voucher. Don't know if that's available over here in the UK. Look at all these goodies. I just bought a pack the other day of all the little add-ons for a GoPro so that we could use them. We go through them fairly regularly. Neither have bothered. So we've got a separate hinge, obviously for this case, but it's got holes in it there so that I assume we can put different straps and stuff in it. Not waterproof, but do the job. Velcros, USB, little sticky pads for the bases, little adapters, dropping more stuff here, little Velcro bracelet adapter thing, clips, yeah, cable ties. These are ace, these little wire clips things that they do. So you can loop them around stuff really securely, a little safety thing. So yeah, now this was on the instruction book, which I saw there. Wireless remote. It goes onto that wrist strap thing. So I assume one is for taking video and one is for taking photos. A little camera and a sort of video camera thing. So you can operate it remotely. Interesting. Yeah, be nice to see if that works. Little LEDs work, if nothing else. So I'm going to have a little play with this now and just see how good it is. I'm going to take it out in the next couple of days and just do stuff with it, really. It's not something I can tell straight off. I don't know what features it's got on it, apart from the 4K stuff onto there. So we'll have a little look at that. Let's go and have a look. Okay, I just thought I'd come back and intersect this section before I go out, because obviously I powered the battery onto this thing. And the menu in terms of setup was amazing. I've not seen that before, so easy. It took me through 8 little steps onto there and what to do, and a QR code to scan at the end onto my phone to get the app. The app was really clear, really easy to use. Some of the bigger manufacturers should take note of that. It was so easy to use. The menu system is really easy to use. The only thing that I had to work out was press and hold the M button to get it on the front camera so that you can see it for doing selfie mode. It's probably in the instructions. I didn't read them. You might not either. So yeah, press and hold the M button to switch that over, but everything else is pretty self-explanatory, to be fair. Okay, let's have a look at some of this footage we've got here then. So this first bit of footage, when I pause it, it's actually really quite grainy. I've got to be honest. Yeah, that's shot in 4K, and we've shot that at 30 frames at 4K. When I play it back though, it's actually not that bad. Let's go on down the canal path. This is quite bumpy. The electronic image stabilization, it's okay, it's not bad. Interesting to note, the electronic image stabilization only works at 4K 30 frames and lower. It doesn't work at the 60 frames, which you can sort of understand. It's processing quite a lot into there. But yeah, it's acceptable. Obviously my dodgy bike riding probably isn't, but that's a different kettle of fish. It's trying to do a nice job of sorting out the HDR with that sky. It's very bright. It's keeping the main bits in with good lighting on it, which is quite important really. I do quite appreciate that. Now interestingly, this was at 60 frames. It was fine when I view it in the OS, but it flickers on the screen here. I won't subject you to that much more. One of the little things I noticed was 60 frames 4K in Final Cut. It's almost like I'm missing a frame every time it's black. That's only in Final Cut that we're seeing this. When you play it in the OS, it plays perfectly fine. It's just a Final Cut compatibility issue with that format. Don't know, haven't tried to work it out. Yeah. It was one of those things, it would be nice. I could try and convert it and sort it out. It's not the end of the world to me. I wasn't going to spend ages trying to work out what was causing that. In the shadowy areas, it's a little bit blotchy on the quality. I've got to be honest, if we look at those bits there as we're going down that canal, it's mediocre, I think, in that respect. So this is the camera in selfie mode. I can see myself on the screen, which is really quite nice, and the fact that the screen is so close to that lens makes it absolutely superb. I don't know if the auto flicker is working on this. Just going to interject here on the auto flicker. No, it's not really working. It's on auto. We've got that little band coming down. Very difficult anyway. For most cameras, I get it, even on certain GoPros, so you can't hold that against them. It's just one of those things. You might have to change it manually or set a proper shutter speed that is suitable for that as well. So just bear that in mind. We've got stuff in 1080 slow-mo here. Let's find something that's a little bit more. Hey, if you've made it this far, it would be amazing if you liked and subscribed on this channel. It would really help me out. I'm trying to build the channel, and it's people like you that make the world of difference. Leave a comment down below or get back to you. It's a great little community that we've got here. I look forward to seeing you on this journey. Back to the show. And actually, I'm quite pleased with that. I've got to be honest. It's looking all right. Slow-mo's working well. The quality is probably better in 1080. Yeah, I think the shadow areas are nicer. It's a crisper image than in the 4K. And that's a really pleasant image. I could use that in 1080 quite happily. Whereas I'm not so sure about the 4K stuff so much. It's a bit hit and miss, especially in the dark areas. So here we are in the outdoors. We're testing the camera's speaker. I don't know how good this is going to sound. It might sound alright. It's pretty noisy around here, to be fair. But at least I can see myself on the screen. That's a real big bonus. So the audio is actually alright. You make your own mind up over that. Obviously we've got a bit of wind coming into there. There's nothing for wind muffling or anything else on it. It is what it is. It's just recording there. I quite like having that little screen. I'm not overly impressed with the picture quality coming out of that. But again, that's at 4K 30 frames, so pinch of salt with that really. A little bit of time lapse. The thing I did like with the time lapse is that it is actually putting it into a finished file. So it's putting it into a movie file ready to play. I haven't got to try and sort out thousands of images to sort that, so that's a real plus point for me. I like that. That works great. All that aside, what did I think of this tiny little action camera, which was £70 with the £20 off on the thing on Amazon? Bear in mind that this little pack of adapters and everything else that I got in here, I'd literally just bought a pack separate and I'd paid nearly 20 quid for that. Had a few extra little bits and pieces, but it's got a couple of nice bits in. I absolutely love the remote control that came with it, that you can attach to your wrist to start recording or take a photo. I can see that being really, really useful in all sorts of situations. Admittedly, it connects to the app, and the app's gorgeous. I love the software and the way they've done all the software menus on that. Fantastic on it. I think the only thing that sort of lets it down a little bit for me is the picture quality at 4K. 1080 is actually pretty okay. I'm impressed with it. 4K, yeah, I'm noticing the limitations of this when it goes to 4K. I don't notice it so much in 1080, got to be honest. But that being said, footage still usable. It's a nice cheap action camera. I love the fact that we've got the screen on the front and the back. So yeah, it is what it is. You pay your money, you take your choice. If you go and buy the latest state-of-the-art Insta, it's going to cost you nearly 500 quid. Will cost you that. GoPros are going to cost you 400 odd pound, and with my recent experience of GoPros and their customer service, I'd never buy another GoPro, I've got to be honest. But that's a different story. We won't cover that here. So yeah, it's nice. Nice little camera. I can't compare it against other ones of this ilk, and I have seen a few of these around now when I've had a look, but I assume they're all going to be pretty much the same. So yeah, good little action camera. I like the fact it came with 2 batteries. There's a lot in the technology side that could be polished, but then you'd be paying the same price as you would at the higher end ones. So that really isn't going to happen, is it, at the end of the day? Hope you found that useful. If you've got any comments or you've seen it, give me a shout. Be interesting to see.